Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, so I have watched Apple Cider Vinegar like one and a half times. I'm still kind of in the middle of it for the second time, but probably gonna watch it more. Kind of like Inventing Anna, which I still need to go over that because digging into who is the villain, who, and because when you look at Inventing Anna alone, there are so many ways to look at it with who's the villain, how are they the villain, what developed them to be to that point, and how could they have escaped that adventure of villainism and everything. And with apple cider vinegar, I see good and bad in different ways. Mostly with Belle, don't get me wrong. Ooh, she's a hot mess. But at the same time, I understand her hot mess. And I understand Jessica, like, beyond measure. It's like, I wish I could give her a great big hug, have brunch with her, talk with her about her medical situation. Mine's different because I'm going to be talking and comparing, and some of the stuff is going to be kind of repeats from previous stories. But one reason why my channel is as messy as my life, a lot of current events and a lot of documentaries and things like that, I connect with in different aspects, in different ways. Like, so I can bring up my exes and what they did to me in different ways, and my medical history, especially the way doctors treated or spoke to me, and how many people accused me of lying. So it's kind of like the opposite of Belle. And it's what Jessica was wishing for. I think that's one main thing that differentiated them, because one simply just lied about it, one hoped for it. And I was, I had years of my life stolen from me because I was whooped and punished, and I was told, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you. I was told that no one's ever going to want to hire you. And then going to job interviews and they're asking, why do you walk like that? And when I just, like, I was born and literally, yeah, I was born with a disability. But so many doctors, all they did was tell my mother. And after 18, or well, some of you already know that story. Well, even after 18, doctors went behind my back. And I'm going to show her face. I'm going to show her name soon. But they literally would go behind my back after 18 and call my mother and tell her everything about my appointment and how I'm still not picking up my feet and how it's my fault. There's nothing wrong with me. So, in a lot of ways, I connect to Jessica so much more. With Belle, I was like, I hope I can find a therapist, a YouTube therapist that can, break her down and kind of teach me, some stuff about maybe her thought process. But yeah, I was like, yeah, I still need to go over the Uglies movie. Yeah, like, a lot of you guys already know everything I'm trying to work on. So, but yeah, like, having so many ideas at once is crazy. But with all of the ideas these women had, with all of the ambition, and with the situations, with the situation Jessica was put in, with the situation Belle pretended to be in, they meant well. One for attention, fame, and money. One because she was literally living through something and she had empathy for others, and why not turn it into a business? It's like it's like that saying, It's like when someone gives you lemonade, or when someone gives you lemons, no. Yeah, I wish, but if someone gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I mean, with Belle, yeah, she bought the lemonade. It was all fake. So it's like no one was giving her lemons. She bought the lemonade, and it probably had a lot of artificial sugars and everything. But with Jessica, it's like she was given lemons, and she was forcing and trying to make the lemonade out of the situation when it wasn't ready yet. And it got to the point where I don't think you can make wine out of lemons, can you? You know what? While I talk, I'm curious. But in a way, it fermented to the point where there was no return. She could no longer make lemonade because she waited so long. And it went from having wine that may not have the wine glass or the topper or something to the point where the whole bottle is going to be like so. And oh my gosh, when I like getting the news, or like, well, not me personally getting the news of that, but in the movie, hearing that it was too late, hearing that the doctors could not help her, save her, I was upset. But then I kept having to remind myself that yes, doctors can be absolutely horrible, and a lot of them are only for helping their pockets, their yachts, and like fancy houses and everything. But science is science. And with all of either the pollution, artificial, and a lot of the stuff going on within our bodies, we don't have the science to know of anything that can treat it naturally. I wish we could, but we don't have that. That is not like, and I remember there was a doctor that went to my church who was kind of saying some of the same things. And because she said she healed her cancer by eating naturally organic and things like that. And so when my mom got cancer, I noticed that she was like she did the chemo and everything, but at the same time she was starting to do a lot of the natural remedies and stuff too. And just it's frustrating when you see someone literally going through the real trauma and the heartache of the monster of cancer. And it was crazy because I'm looking at somebody going through all of this, and then their mental health, their physical health, and every like all the components of their health is slowly being depleted. But that same person who is fighting this now, I am trying to help, but at the same time, I was absolutely livid because I am literally cleaning up around the house and trying to do what I can and everything. But when I was trying to say that I don't know why I walk like this, I don't know why I'm like this, I don't know why I have bad balance, I don't know why, just on and on and on, I was always called a liar. And it's people like Bell and during the COVID vaccine, when people were pretending that they were getting seizures and different ailments from the vaccination, and they made sure to record themselves and saying it's because of the like people who will go to those lengths just to get attention, just to lie, or especially to pretend that their political stance is correct is disgusting and pathetic, and they need to get a life, a hobby, or especially if they're in they either need a relationship or they need to get some from that relationship. Okay. And it's just back to even with the doctors. It's like, and trust me, like with apple cider vinegar, I can have so many episodes talking about my medical nightmare. And I put Dr. George Donald Cirilli up again because, yeah, I just told majority of the story of my appointments with him. It's like it's doctors like him that make Jessica not trust medical care. I mean, she didn't want to lose her arm, but with a lot of doctors, they some of them have just the biggest egos. They act like they know everything because even at that table, when they were supposed to be talking to her, they were talking at her. And I don't know how close to that is to the actual meeting, but I saw that. And as a young girl, I understand, okay, the doctors are not going to talk to me when it came to my walking, but when the doctors pull my mom to the side and tell her I'm lying and tell her to spank me or to beat me or to punish me. Some like it's really odd when like almost each time I find out a new way of getting punished because when we get home, my mom has a new way to punish me because of how I walk. And she got the ideas from the doctor. But then people tell me I can't sue. And I'm like, how can I not? Like I said, I'm going to write some lawyers because I'm at a point where it's like going through memory lane and going through all the trauma that I've been through. And it's like even later in life, like my grandmother, full blood Native American. And so there's like so many home remedies and things. And that's one reason I love natural medicine. I love natural remedies. But at the same time, it's like if I am sick or if I need antibiotics, I'm going to use that. If I need to be vaccinated, I'm going to be vaccinated. But I'm also going to do natural medicines or things throughout my life to keep my body in the best shape as possible. And it's like I'm not going to be one of those who's going to run to a vet place to get a horse pill. But that's a different story for a different day, right? But it's just because yes, I don't trust most doctors. It's like you're going to hear about Dr. Biondo. That no good jerk too. Yeah, I've got a list of doctors because he also told me to, well, he didn't say go home and lose weight, but he told me to walk it off. He told me to walk it off. Like I was like going over the story about my surgery and everything, and then how after I had to have like over 20 or 20, well, I need to count how many tests, but it was over 20 tests. And it wasn't until the last one, it was Dr. Biondo that gave me the results. And oh, when because he called me, he personally called me, and the tone in his voice, the tone in his voice made me so scared because he mentioned cancer one time. He mentioned cancer. And then another doctor mentioned it because it was in his notes. And so I remember, like, that's one reason why, like, with my books, yes, I was like, I've published books and I have many more books I need to publish. But back then, I was scared I had cancer and I was scared I was going to die. And I was like, I need to at least publish my books, publish some of them because this is my goal, this is my dream. Before I die, I need to be an author. And so that's why I went against all of the advertising and everything because I was just like, I don't care. It's like as long they're online, they have the ISBNs and things like that. It's like I even wrote in a letter like who would get the money for it or whatever, or to donate it to a list of places. I did all of that because like at first they told me, oh, you just need a knee replacement. And but then they still blamed me after the surgery when I wasn't just walking right or whatever. And they were like, if you want to walk right, if you want to walk right. And it's like, literally, I am crying even more because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Why can't I walk right? I don't like, I was calling myself stupid and dumb. And some of the things my, again, mom used to tell me. And that's why that stuff is in my head for the rest of my life. Because once someone tells you something like over and over repeatedly, kind of like a habit over 7 times, I believe, it starts staying like, and that's one reason why easily I can say, as long as you walk like that, no one's ever going to want you, love you, or marry you, because she said it so often, so often. I never wanted to be in a room alone with her because of how often she said it. And then I already told you guys about some of the job interviews and how like I didn't lie about my diagnosis because I wasn't diagnosed. I was misdiagnosed, undiagnosed, mistreated. But when it came to mental health, I had to start lying about job interviews. I was like, I've already talked about how I had normal clothes in my car. So after the job interview, I went to a McDonald's or Subway or something like that, and I would change clothes into normal clothes so that when I got home, there would be no evidence of a job interview. And so I had to do that because if I didn't, did you get the job? I don't know. Don't like, and yeah, let's just say I'm not gonna, because yeah, I still get traumatized by, and I did it in a lot, like I can't do it too many times within a short period of time because those memories still haunt me. They still haunt me and they hurt so terribly. And I say all this because trust me, I'm going to do a lot more on this movie because I was called a liar ever since I was a toddler. And that's the part that I still don't get. If my parents took me to the doctors and asked them, why do I walk like this? And they're like, oh, she's fine, just whatever. But then year after year, I'm still walking like that. It's like, how is a doctor going to say because she wants attention? How is a doctor going to say it's like she's just lying or she's making it up or whatever? If I was doing this since I was able to walk, how are you going to give someone that, like, that doesn't make any sense? And it's like that made me, like, over the years, I started despising doctors. Couldn't stand them. There, and for years, I, like, about a year and a half or 2 years, I did not go to a doctor's appointment. I didn't care when if my mom threatened me, because she did, because doctors would call and let her know that I didn't go to a doctor's appointment. And they would want to know what was going on, because especially the one doctor, and not Biondo, was another doctor. Oh, I have so many stories about her. I'm still trying to figure out what the title should be. But when she didn't see me in a year, she would call and tell my mother. And my mom would call me into the room, and either I would get spanked or slapped or whatever when told if I don't go to an appointment. Yeah, dot, dot, dot. I'll just finish that right there. So I don't know. It's just like when I see people who are pretending and mock, like, to me, it's like mocking. It's like, how dare you? And I know disability is different than cancer, but we have a lot in common because we're fighting a fight. Like, we're trying to fight for normalcy. We're trying to fight so we can make the lemons into lemonade. We are trying to live a peaceful, wonderful, independent life. We want to be able to be happy and not stressed out because of everything going on around us. We want that. But is it possible? Oh, and there are lemon wine brands too. Bellini and Caramello. Okay, well, you can tell I don't drink that much, so yeah, I could literally, like, I really don't at all. But anyway, like, I literally make, it's like, oh, I made a blueberry raspberry lemonade from scratch a couple months ago. That was really, really good. And it's like I'm concocting this, a cookie recipe for my cookbook and stuff too. But yeah, okay, that's for a different, episode. But let's just say with my novel and everything, I am trying to create a recipe book so that you can literally eat the items that my characters are feasting on. And my main character has a disability, and I'm I give a little bit of my life into that character. And I think that's another reason why it's not done, like, it's so close to done, but it's not done, because some of the toughest portions of the chapters I'm adding are very emotional. Through some of the toughest things I had to face when, and especially in college, Oakland University, people kept accusing me of being a liar or making stuff up, or your mom didn't say this, she didn't do this, she wouldn't do that, you're making this up. And I'm literally like, I remember showing a faculty member a bruise that she gave me because I tripped over myself in public. I think we were at Kohl's or the mall. I forgot where, but we were shopping for clothes. I remember that. And we got home, and she was so embarrassed. And I showed it to a staff member, and they said I gave it to myself. They didn't tell me this. I know this because of another staff member. That's what they said. So when you see people making stuff up, when I see people making stuff like this up, I'm infuriated. It's like with the let's just say I'm going to be talking more about her a lot, but I empathize. I empathize with both in a way, because like watching how well, the main villain, her mother-daughter relationship versus the other, like, I think she might have been even a little jealous of the mother-daughter relationship at the event in a way, and how people were coming to her, and how she never had to hunt people down in order to get the attention. And so I don't know. There's some, like I said, there's so many ways to look at it, and I will be breaking it down in many ways. Kind of like books and novels. And yes, I'm going to start with the books and novels soon, but part of me is just like, girl, first finish yours and publish the 3 or 4 children's books you already basically have done. Come on. So, but yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. And one reason I know we need more books out there is we need more characters that show their life getting the lemons and how they are trying to make the lemonade. We need to show how they're still living their life, how it's a little altered, a little different, a little unique, but they're doing it, and they're going, and they're trying, and they're not giving up. Even through the heartache and the pain, they are not giving up. There's so many times I've wanted to give up. So many, like, yeah, I'm gonna even do one with the dating life with this, like, because with all of the men who either they don't want me because, well, because I'm black for one, that's a different story, or because of my education. Like, so many men would tell me, what kind of man would want a smart woman? Or they would date me, but then they would try to degrade me, downgrade me, and everything else. or with my disability, they would be embarrassed to walk around with me. They would be, embarrassed to walk around with me. And this is something out of my control. I did not choose this. I didn't take any actions to be like this. And then it's crazy because there are some demographics that, like, especially, well, I guess I'll leave that for a different, but it's just really annoying how I try my best to be the best woman that at least I would love and enjoy company with, because part of me feels like if I don't want to be with me, if I wouldn't enjoy my own company, like, what am I doing? Like, this isn't anyone else's life. This is my life. So shouldn't I enjoy my company? Shouldn't I enjoy what I do, what I say, what I achieve, or what I'm trying to go after, my passions? And it's crazy because a lot of men either they hate that, which is I'm okay with, or they love that, but then they don't like the disability. And or they say that the woman is supposed to help the man when he gets, even though it's like with the whole sick or sickly in health and everything like that, it's not just for the man. But I keep finding, oh, oops, I guess I gotta eat. My stomach's growling now, but I'm almost done anyway. But it's just like when it comes to wedding vows, and that's one reason I'm never gonna get married, because the guys that I keep bumping into, it's like they want the vows to only be from the woman, because a lot of them, they want to be able to cheat and they want to be able to get sick, and the woman caters to them, or the woman forgives them, or the woman will allow him to do what he wants with another woman. Yeah. And it's like with finances, oh yeah, even though the woman is not supposed to, or so one guy even told me, I will not be allowed to invest any more money, and the money that I did invest, it's like I would have to give it to him. Yes, he did. And oh, I have a list in an Excel sheet, but I haven't looked at that list in so long. But I need to add, that's not on my list. I need to tell that story because, the gall of that man. But anyway, you know what time it is, because this is the Handicapable Black Woman. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human and you're human too. And if you do have a disability, if you have gotten diagnosed with anything, just know you are not alone. And hold on to the truth of it. It's like, listen to your doctors, but also know, like, I think it's a balance of your body and the medicine and everything. Because I think being off balance can, well, if you saw apple cider vinegar, you can see, but I'm going to be talking about that possibly next time. See ya.